Bodyboarding Association crew on its 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
Stoked for you guys. I hope you have many, many more years to come and much more success.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dave.
All right, and coming up next, we are going to have Jeff Hubbard rejoining us here in the booth. So, and we are just underway again, out in the water right now. Heat 4, round 5, man-on-man heat. João Zeke, the trialist wild card against the main event wild card, Jose Otavio. Both of these guys locals here. One of them's going to stick around. One of them's going to go home. How's it going, Jeff?
It's going good, Steve. Watching the action, we had young versus old out there. João, the young up-and-comer from Itacoatiara, and Jose, the old guard here. Both legends here at the beach, and it's going to be a really cool battle. See who is the true local, which local knowledge prevails in this heat.
Yes, is it going to be the veteran experience of Jose Otavio or the young new school gun João Zeke advancing out of this one? Only time will tell. Again, 30-minute heat, man-on-man, top 2 waves count, 12-wave max, and you know, we'll see where the chips fall at the end of this, where the cards may land, but you know, should be a good heat.
It's going to be a great heat. I'm excited, especially because, you know, Jose, you look him up on YouTube out here and you watch his performances through the last decade out at his home break, and it's really, really inspiring, like the stuff he's doing, just really powerful, big moves, and yeah, it's huge. It's good to see.
Yeah, I have to give a lot of respect to the local guys here. If you go on YouTube or you check Uzike.com, there's clips of event organizer Juliano Lara, Dudu Pedra, Jose Otavio riding some heavy waves here. A lot of respect to those guys because they put their life on the line when they paddle out here during the big swells. We even saw it during the trials, some really heavy conditions.
We did, and we saw, you know, all those guys surf really well, and that's why there's 2 locals in the round 5 right here, battling it out. The last heat of round 5, winner moves on to round 6, and will face, who will they face? Well, I think it'll be Mark McCarthy. That's going to be who the winner of this heat will face. Alex Arongo won that last heat. Congratulations to Alex. He's going to go on and surf against Guilherme Tamega. Wow, that's going to be a heavy heat in round 6, one to watch. Make sure you're there for that one coming up later this afternoon.
Alex has looked really strong through competition thus far. He had a little trouble in his previous heat, but he, you know, kind of restabilized, you know, regained some consistency in this heat, and he's moving forward.
He sure is. I mean, I saw him before the event. He was really focused, and, you know, he's definitely one to watch in these punchy lefts. As we saw, he just accumulated 2 really big scores, doing some nice flips and combos in that on those punchy lefts. It's kind of like his some of the beach breaks he surfs back home in the Basque Country, and he's you know, he's definitely a threat out here. He's stoked, and he's a really confident guy. I mean, he like you said, in round 4 he came up against some big names, and he put on a good show. Just didn't quite do enough to skip around. But man, watch out for him. He's in round 6. He's a threat.
All right, so there you can see a shot of the lovely scenery here on the beach at Itacoatiara. Unbelievable around here. You know, you got the girls on the beach, guys hanging out playing soccer on the beach. You got the amazing mountains surrounding this event. It's just beautiful here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to watch. You know, there's a lot of entertainment all over the place. You can watch the waves, you can watch the beach, or you can look back in the mountains. It's all pretty awesome.
All right, and back out in the water, a little bit of a lull to start this heat. Our riders out there waiting for something to come in. Might be a little bit of a swell line on the outside there. You can see on your screen, but we'll have to wait a second, see if that rolls through and stands up at all. So how have you been enjoying your time here in Brazil, Jeff?
The Sahi is amazing. You know what? I've found that the culinary delights in Brazil are almost second to none. I've had some amazing food here. The food is far exceeded my expectations on all levels, and just so psyched to be eating pretty great here. Besides surfing every day, trying to work it off, it's pretty cool. And here up and riding, we have João Zeke drawing a great line to the lip. Oh, just in mushes out.
That one just didn't really line up for him, so he's going to duck out and paddle out, but up and riding.
Local Jose Octavio. Oh, here we go. Doctor.
Wow.
Would say, what? That was incredible. He's not done, man. What? Yep.
Big
Yeah,
invert
there you
comboed
go.
with a roll at the end. That's going to be a solid opening score for Jose Otavio.
Yep, I'm going to go on a limb and say that's the highest score of the day. That was the best wave I've seen ridden today. Huge invert, I mean, flying, and then he finishes off with a big roll. I mean, that was true local knowledge, Steve.
I'm not sure if you saw real quick when he got up, but he's got those green medical patches on his back. Having a little bit of back trouble, trying to relieve the pain with some medicated patches out there. We've seen a few guys rolling around with those. Meanwhile, up and riding, João Zeke.
Yeah, he's trying to answer back. Let's see what he can do here. Oh, it's a little bumpy, but just not quite having it. As you see a lot of these waves, if the section doesn't come right away, it runs into that rip, and that lip line gets really bumpy as it gets closer to the beach, and so it is wreaking havoc on some competitors' dreams as they go to hit the lip and fly away. So you look out the back, there's lines coming in, Steve. The swell is supposed to peak today around 3 o'clock. The tide is dropping around 4. We're going to be in some big scores just like this. Watch Jose.
Here's the replay. Driving off the bottom, nice clean speed line, heads up to the lip section, and boom, there you go. Tweaks the board, bent over backwards, bad back and all, comes down, a little bit of a hard landing, but sticks it, and there you can see he resets his line, drives down, and punches the roll off the end section, combos the big invert with the rollo off the end section, big opening maneuver, big closing maneuver, solid wave for Jose.
Yeah, well, it doesn't get better than that here. He could not have surfed the wave any better. That the invert was tweaked perfectly, really critical. I mean, it's even harder to do than a backflip, in my opinion, on that wave because he tweaked it so far back past vertical and then brought it all the way over. His legs almost came out from under him, and he brought it back right at the last minute, stabilized, landed. There it is, 9.75, almost as close to a perfect 10 as we've seen in this event. So that is the highest score of the whole event. And it's obvious that he knows what he's doing. Here he is again, Steve.
All right, and up and riding red, João Zeke on the left, driving down the line, and not a lot there. There you can see him slapping the water as he kicks out. A little frustration here in the early going. His youth might be showing a little bit right now. A little frustrated out there. Still plenty of time to put it together, though.
Oh, yeah, he'd be real frustrated after hearing that Jose just got a 9.75. I mean, that would put a huge dent in your confidence. But you know what? He's a young kid. He may not even bother him at all. He may not be unfazed, and he may just, he's got 22 minutes left to tackle this heat. And Jose has to catch a second wave, so I've seen people, have the best wave of the heat but still lose. So let's watch the action unfold and see if these guys can put a show for us.
All right, and here's one more replay of Jose Otavio's last wave. Jeff, run us through this.
So he's going straight up to the lip with a huge amount of speed, and then watch it. He hits it, and then just keeps tweaking, and he holds it. So that part was and just free falls, legs over, but he stabilizes and just a perfect clean landing. So the free fall, and then finishes off with a textbook roll. In my opinion, when he was tweaking, he over tweaked, which is really critical. That's really hard to do. You can tweak an invert, but to over tweak it and then come back is just, on a size of a wave like that was critical. And the judges rewarded for it. It's great to see the judges, realize the technical difficulty of that on a set wave off the bottom. Really nicely done.
Yeah, we've seen you tweak some pretty big moves. When your body, the bottom half of your body swings out behind you, how hard is that to reel it in?
Oh, it's hard because you're flying all over the place. But here we go. Jose looking for another ramp. Oh, wow. See if he can pull this off.
Nice flip, gets it around.
Yeah, that was great. He's got a second scoring wave that's going to put Zeke in combo, and Zeke's going to be in a big deficit right here, and it's going to be hard for him to dig his way out. I mean, Jose had a set wave there, bottom turn really clean around the section, and nice flip, not as huge as his invert, obviously, and the scores will reflect that, but it's going to be a great second wave for him.
Now, you had mentioned João is most likely going to go into combination situation after this wave from Jose Otavio. There you can see him driving up and powering through the lip and getting the flip over and gets it around in the whitewater. This is going to be a solid secondary score. But how critical is it going to be for João Zeke to maintain a level head if he's going to have any chance of coming back in this heat?
Well, you know what? He's so far down right now, he doesn't have anything to lose, so he's probably, there's no pressure on him at this point. He's totally out of the heat. So at that stage, if there's nothing to lose, you might as well just have fun. And sometimes when you're having fun and you're more relaxed now that he can just go and just maybe free surf the rest of the heat, that might be an advantage, and that might get him back into it. And we'll see if that happens,
And there you go, 6.88 for Jose Otavio's secondary score. That puts João Zeke in combination situation. For those of you not familiar with combination, that basically means they need two completely new high scores to get back into this. Just under 20 minutes remaining, plenty of time. I mean, we saw Jeff here at the Pipeline contest in 2011 in combination situation with 5 minutes left in the heat and managed to come back and win the Pipe Championship.
Yeah, so I mean, it is possible. You just have to, relax and just wait for the good waves. And I think, Joao, he being a local here, if he can resort to that local knowledge, pick the right waves, he can get back in this heat. First thing he's got to do is he's got to at least get over a 7, and then has a chance. But Jose's just going to catch waves. So let's see what he does on this one.
All
Steve,
right, and Jose Otavio up and riding on this left, and he's going to bail out. And on that, we're going to throw down to the beach to Alex Leon with the winner of that last heat.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Down here with that last heat winner, mate, Alex Urunga from Bus Country. Well done, mate. We saw that green slick flying out of the lip a few times then. Well done.
Thank you very much. Yes, I be so hungry to get good waves because one hit before I'm a little bit unlucky to lose in the last minute. It's not the first time for me this year, but it's to make me to be more hungry to pass the next hit, and I get it. I'm so happy.
Well, there's a lot of people watching online from Bus Country, or Basque Country, how you say it. So, want to say a shout out to anyone? Here's your chance, mate.
Yeah, for everyone is really cool to somebody stay in the back pushing you. Yeah, so all my friends, I think, all my family, my girlfriend too, that's pushing me all the time. Just giving me energy and good vibration. Yeah.
This is so far. This is a strong result for you this year. You've gone pretty far today in the event. So we'll see you taking on Galami Tamiga in the next round. How do you feel your chances there?
Yeah, it's not gonna be the first time that I compete with Tamega to man, and so hungry to make it this hit because he beat me in the last one. So I wanna beat him now again. Yeah.
You want to get him back?
Yeah, for sure.
Revenge.
Revenge, yeah.
Yeah. And what are you aiming to do to improve on your heat just now? What are you going to aim to do in your next heat?
I'm going to do the same, just be relaxing, wait for the best waves and choose the good ones to try to make the highest maneuver that I can and just keep it to be not nervous and keep going, man. So good.
Well, you're doing well, mate. Keep going. We're all watching, and that was Alex Urunga taking that one out. We'll see him in the next round, taking on Galami Tamiga. Back to you, action in the booth.
All right, thank you, Alex Leon, and congratulations to Alex Urunga on winning that last heat. He's going to have his work cut out for him in the next round against Guilherme Tamiga.
Yeah, Guilherme's feeling confident. He's here at home in Rio, just relaxed. I'm staying with the guy. He's got to stay in his brother's house about 20 minutes away, so he's just, in his element. His wife is here, and so they're just relaxing, and he seems really relaxed. And I think he's going to be hard to beat out here. I've been free surfing with him, and he's really feels comfortable in these waves because they have a little bit of power. So he doesn't need to grovel, and he can put on a show for everyone. And so it's going to be really fun to watch. I think that next heat, him and Alex are going to battle it out. And Alex and his style are pretty similar because they're really aggressive. And so it's going to be great to watch. It's going to be just a battle.
All right, and so stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, we're going to cut away to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Thanks to Pride for sponsoring this event. That's pretty cool. Emanol and the crew hooking it up. It's good to see that the bodyboarding companies are supporting these events because, all the people around the world watching these contests are probably pretty amped to see that commercial and check out their Pierre-Louis Coste coming up in the next heat. The top pride rider, current world champion. Oh, drinks 20 Red Bulls a day. This kid is unstoppable. Look for him to do at least 5 backflips in the next heat. And Jake Stone is going to look to extend this rivalry streak that they have going on. They just fight each other all the time, it seems, and it's pretty funny that they end up in heats together again and again and again because the rivalry is so strong. It just gets more and more intense. It's real pleasing to the gods. I think that these guys can just keep butting heads. It's wonderful.
I think it's really good for the sport of bodyboarding to see guys like Jake Stone and Pierre-Louis Costas going up against each other. The level of riding talent is just incredible. I mean, throughout the entire IBA top 24, we're talking about the best of the best. But some of these young guys with their new maneuvers and hitting moves and taking them to new levels. I mean, it's stuff that we've been watching you do for a while now, but it's really cool to see the continued progression of the sport out in the water and even here during competition.
Oh, it is. It's great. I mean, Jake's been, really innovative these days, and so it's going to be fun to see him out there, maybe throw out a double roll or double roll to ARS. He likes to call that the Iron Lotus. There he is, the man. He's on a mission. We're amped to see him out there in the next heat versus Pierre-Louis Costes. It's going to be a great battle, and I think everyone around the world is anxious to see these two gigants go at it.
There you can see Jake Stone goofing around in front of the camera. Always a little bit of a character, and always entertaining to be around. Jake Stone coming up in the next heat against Pierre-Louis Costas, the first heat of round 6. So stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, out in the water, we have 13 and a half minutes remaining, and Jose Otavio in a commanding lead. 16.63 combined score. João Zeke with a 2.9.
Yeah, so I mean the heat's basically a runaway at this stage. Joao's just waiting patiently for a wave, and hopefully one comes to him and get us some confidence back and get back in this heat. But Jose's obviously doing great, and hats off to him. It's awesome to see him moving forward in these conditions, and he's going to be a threat in this contest if he can keep getting waves like that, because he has a skill level to compete with the world's best. And here in his home break, he must be really excited, Steve. We've seen him in World Tour events before, and his results haven't shown how good he is in the World Tour events that he's gotten wildcards for. But here at his home break, I think he's got a lot of expectations for himself, and it's happening. Joao Zeke on a wave here. Talk us through it.
Here's a little inside wave. Turns mid-face, goes for the roll, and comes out. Looks like he lost his board bouncing around the whitewater. Still a lot of turbulence in there. It's real shallow, lots of water moving around. We've seen that a lot today. For the people viewing at home, I mean, run us through what the conditions are out there.
Well, it's a beach break situation. We got some peaks running. We got a combo swell, a new south-southwest swell running up the coast, a dying east-southeast swell coming up the coast, I guess, up the coast for the south swell, down the coast for the southeast swell, and so they're creating some peaks here, lefts and rights. We got a side shore conditions. It's about 2 to 3 feet out there at the moment, and it's punchy. Tide's going low, and we got some critical sections being put together when the wedges hit each other, and you'll see that these rips will come out and they'll chop the face up. The wind's on shore, but it's a deep enough shore break that the outside lip isn't affected too much, but the closer you're into the shore you get, that chop or whitewater line right into the shore makes the lip really crumbly. So it's harder for the bodyboarders to do those aerial maneuvers they like to do and get the tubes. So we haven't seen many deep tube rides today. We saw Eder Luciano get a great tube in his round 4 heat, and that was awesome. Glenn Tomega also got a tube there. But besides that, it's been mostly just flip after flip, invert, and that's basically the name of the game out here today. Judges are looking at the combo moves, some spin to rolls, and if you can get a bunch of combos, you're going to get some really high scores. Multiple air moves on one wave are really going to be great for you.
And here we can see some swell lines starting to come in. This heat's been filled with a couple of lulls thus far, but here's a replay of João Zeke's last wave. Mid-face turn, punches the roll through the oncoming whitewater. Not a lot to work with on that wave, but that will end up giving him a marginally better score.
Yeah, it's not going to affect the combination situation by any means. The judges may not still deem that an incomplete maneuver. We're not sure yet till the score pops up, but anyway, it won't be much of a situation changer. So Jose, with 10 minutes remaining, is probably going to win this heat, and really convincingly. But it is great to see Joao, the young Brazilian talent, come out here and give us a little bit of a show the last couple rounds, and just show us that there's some emerging talent from the young kids coming out of Brazil, and it's awesome to see that bodyboarding is so multicultural and so multinational all around the world.
And there you can see in that last video shot, Jake Stone showing a little love to one of the local stray dogs on the beach. There you can see plenty of people cruising the beach, enjoying this nice sunny day we have here. We finally have a day where the sun is out, and it doesn't seem like there's too many clouds in the sky, not much chance of having one of those freak storms roll in like we did the other day. Were you up here for that the other day?
No, I would think I was down in the water when it all happened, and they shut down the contest real quick, and it was a good call by the technical director, Alex Leon, to make the call. The judges can't see when the rain's flying in their face, and they can't make the right call, so it's better for the safety of everyone, but also for basically the riders' scores. That's fair for everyone that they called it off. And so it was a good call, and the heat resumed this morning. They started it from scratch, which was a good call. And then, Ben Player walked away with that round 4 victory, and he moved straight into the quarterfinals. So, Ben won his quarterfinal heat. Winnie won his quarterfinal heat. Eder Luciano not won the quarterfinal. They won their round 4 heats to advance to the quarters, so that along with Mitch Rollins. So those 4 riders are already in the quarterfinals, and they will surf tomorrow morning against the winners of round 6. And so, the heat's coming up. Jake Stone and Pierre-Louis Coste we have in the next heat. Whoever wins that heat will advance to meet Ben Player in quarterfinal number 1 tomorrow morning.
Now, I have a question for you. You've been traveling a lot the past month. You were in Chile for the Eureka competition. Then you flew all the way back to the United States for the U.S. Open of bodyboarding in Huntington Beach. Then you had to fly back down to South America to come here for this event in Brazil. How do you handle being on the fly so much like that? Like, how does it impact your physicality for performing out in the water?
Well, I definitely didn't get very much water time in California. The waves are flat there. You can't really do much training. So that was probably the main factor coming into this event. You come here, even though I was like 5 days early, the weather was horrible. I guess there was great waves for the whole week before I got here. Just weather turned to absolute trash, and it was onshore and small waves and then huge waves and windy. So it was really bad for that week I got here. And then the sun came out 2 days ago, and the waves got fun. So yesterday was the most fun I've had out in the water, even though they didn't have the contest today. I had a lot of fun free surfing, so it's great to finally get some fun free surfs again. And Brazil has great waves. It's just a matter of if you're lucky enough to be here when a swell hits. So we're lucky to have some waves here at Itacoatiara. It's not big. It's today we had some big waves for the first round, but it was really difficult, heavy conditions, and it was great to see bodyboarding pushing the limits in those heavy closeouts. It's kind of what bodyboarding is made for. Just go out there and roll around and charge it in these heavy situations. And then it's still exciting to watch in 2-foot surf out here today. We got Jose Octavio was the 9.75. You'd think it'd be really hard to get that score out here today, but local knowledge paid off.
All right. Well, with the traveling, how hard is it to eat healthy and get a workout in? Is there anything you can do, like when you're in the airport, to just kind of stretch out and keep yourself from getting too tight? And what kind of guidelines do you set for yourself when you're traveling for eating?
Yeah, I mean, eating, you just try and eat healthy. That's the bottom line. And then you get when you can't really work out in the airports. It's pretty hard. But I get treated pretty well. I travel a lot, so I'm a frequent flyer. So the airlines treat me pretty well. I got all my flights are usually pretty comfortable. Once I get to the destination, then it's time to stretch out, surf, and relax and work out, and train. And I do that, once I'm at the location. And if there's waves, I'm stoked that I'm surfing a lot.
Cool. And meanwhile, out in the water, again, another lull in this heat. These guys have had a couple waves come through, wait, a couple waves come through, wait. Very, I guess you could say lully, if that's actually a word.
Yeah, we'll throw it out there in the surf vocabulary, lully conditions. And, it's better to watch stuff like this than watch guys just sit out in the water and float. So I'm glad the cameramen are on it. Everyone back home, I'm sure, is enjoying this. All across the world, there's beautiful views in the water, out of the water, and all around Rio. So we're having a good time.
Appreciating the scenery. There you can see a little over 5 minutes remaining, and it's pretty much a blowout out in the water right now. No offense to João Zeke, but I mean,
no.
Jose Otavio jumped out and just took control of this heat. And even though he's only got a few waves under his belt, is dominated.
Dominating. It's great to see the local come out here and have such a dominating heat. Moving into round 6, I'm excited to see that him can progress, and hopefully we have better conditions for him later. And the next heat's going to be great. Pierre-Louis Coste and Jake Stone are going to put on a great show for us, and I think that's something to look forward to for all the people online. Don't tune away. We're about to see a great show. We see Pierre stretching, getting ready, getting amped up. He probably had 20 Red Bulls, and he's psyching. He's doing a great job here, watching the competitors out the back, see who's has priority, who's going to go on this one.
And it looks like João Zeke has priority and takes this one, driving down the line on this right. Looks up to the section, going for an air roll spin, comes out of the whitewater, but that's going to be all she wrote. That'll definitely improve his score. He had a 5.25 on his last wave, and with that ride, he should be out of combination situation, but I really don't see how it's going to help him pull too much closer to striking distance for Jose Octavio with 4 minutes remaining.
Yeah, good call, Steve. 4 minutes left. That wave was nice. It's nice to see Joao actually get a little speed, do something we like to see, a nice ARS out of the bowl. But it's going to be questionable whether he gets enough to get out of combo land here. But
Here's the replay.
It's great speed and through the lip, ARS, wonderful. Clean landing out of the whitewater. But Jose Octavio has priority. 3 minutes left. Let's see what he does. Barrel, bottom turn, cut out.
So quick ride for Jose Octavio. Not much working there. Not going to affect his score in any way. But
up Joao Zeke just checking out that wave. I mean, it's good to see there is some size in the water at the moment. I mean, this set's coming through. I mean, it'd be nice to see a little more regularity, with the heat we have coming up next with Jake and Pierre. I mean, I think everyone wants to see a lot of waves coming, a lot of waves ridden, just back-to-back, backflip versus air versus air. It's going to be cool to see. I mean, I think everyone's a fan of both these riders and, the style that they bring to the event and the young gun attitude they have is really cool.
And there you can see less than 2 minutes remaining. João Zeke scoring a 6.83 on his last ride. So he has a 5.25 and a 6.83, but he's still in a hole, Jeff.
You're right. He got out of combination, Steve, so that was a great call by you. He does need a 9.8, which, we saw Jose Octavio get a 9.75 here, at the beginning of the heat. But so it's like we say in the commentating booth, anything is possible with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. And Joao does have priority. That is his favor, so don't tune away just yet.
So, and there you can see Jose Octavio paddling over. He might see something out there that we don't. He knows this place better than I do.
Oh, yeah, he's got more local knowledge here than anyone on the planet. It would have been awesome to see 10-foot wedges running down the beach and see him trying those 720s we've seen in the videos. But you know what? Hey, we'll have to stick with huge inverts to rolls from him, which isn't bad at all either.
Yeah, even though we've got some predominantly small conditions right now, we've seen some big moves from our riders out in the water.
Yeah, we've seen some good riding. I mean, I think everyone can appreciate some of the riding that went down in round 4. That was a really intense couple heats, and the last couple heats have been, pretty cool, pretty fun to watch.
And there you can see some of the girls on the beach watching the action out in the water. A beautiful beach day. The sun's out. It's nice and warm. And there you can see a few of the girls hanging out, enjoying the action out in the water.
Yeah, they are enjoying watching the bodyboarders do their thing out here at Itacoatiara here in Rio. Just hours drive from the beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro, where the movie City of God was filmed.
Pretty heavy movie.
Yeah, that was intense. So I recommend it for anyone who hasn't seen the movie City of God. It is all in Portuguese, yes, but it is worth a watch. I think everyone should watch this type of movie, and just to see how well they live where they're from, because how hard it is to live here in Rio for some people is it's some of it's like a third world country here. Even though you're one of the richest countries in the world at the moment, still people, have to live in really below poverty situations.
It is definitely interesting to see the social contrast. And here we can see Jose Otavio, one more wave. Big flip off of that small inside section.
Where is he? Did he roll up onto the beach? No, he didn't. See, that was a huge flip. That was really good to see. That score would have been really high and would have really been fun to see him land that. And here he goes, Jazik. Nice little jamming it up. He knows it's over, but cute little 360. Good for him. Great show in this event. He's calling it quits, but we get to see Jose Octavio move into round 6 versus Mark McCarthy.
All right, so and we're just about, there's the horn. We're underway for round 6, Heat 1, PLC versus Jake Stone. So Pierre and Stoney out in the water. And
Pierre up first. Look at this. He's going to do a big backflip right here. 1, 2, 3, boo, yeah. Okay, and he's going to spin it around, probably roll in the whitewater here for the boys. There we go. Great way to start the heat, Pierre.
That backflip, Pierre's bread and butter move in the world of bodyboarding.
Sure is. He's got his name associated with a backflip, and he does them better than, well, I wouldn't say better than most people, but more consistently than most people. He's got a great backflip, and it's nice to watch. I enjoy watching them.
And here we have the replay. Pierre driving down the line. Nice clean line coming off the bottom. Hits the section, projects out. There you can see he gets the flip around in the white water and combos it with a roll off of that smaller side wave and then washes up onto the beach. That'll call it a wave.
Yeah, it was a great way to start a heat. Put Stoney on watch that he's going to have to step it up, and we'll see what Stone's made of. Big Stone sitting out the back. Knows there's going to, I don't know if he realizes, but Pierre's gonna have a big score locked in straight away, and he's gonna be under the gun with 28 minutes left to do something big.
And here you can see Jake Stone taking a look at this one. He's gonna let it pass by. Before you step out, any last words, Jeff?
Yeah, I just want to say hi to my family if they're watching, and aloha to everyone in Hawaii. Hope all is well, and pass the mic over to Ryan Hardy. He's gonna be joining us, and Hardballs is gonna be commentating for the Boyos.
All right, thank you, Jeff Hubbard, for stepping into the booth once again today, doing double duty as a commentator. We appreciate Jeff stepping in here, and as Jeff noted, we've got Ryan Hardy stepping into the booth now to hang out with me for this heat. How's it going, Ryan?
Good, Jacko. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks